broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, we are here at AFTERBUZZ live doing a recap of State of Affairs. We weren't here for the holidays a couple weeks ago, so we're gonna do episodes 6 and 7 together. A little bit of Masquerade and Bellerophon action. Bellerophon, is that how you say it?
I think you definitely got it.
I think I got it. I'm your host, Stef Z, and tonight on the panel we've got the lovely
Robin Ayers, Hannah,
and English. This is my song.
Yeah, I don't know why this song is on right now, but
we love it.
No one else could think of one, and English came up with it, so we gave it to her. So get it, girl. Break it down. Break it down.
It's on you. It's on you.
There's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of weird.
Oh.
There's like, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Well, on that note, let's get right to it. All right. So let's go back and just quickly highlight what we think happened in episode 6 that kind of pertained to episode 7. I feel like we still had those super impactful starts. They're high energy. But a lot of the episodes now are starting to, one thing leads to the next, leads to the next. It's not these just random, like, you know, free the women, the girls thing, which we all love and we want that. But you know what I mean? It's not these random things that are happening. It's all tying together. So we like that, I think.
That last episode more had a crazy ending with that bathtub scene and all the lights flashing in there when she was remembering everything.
Yeah.
I felt like the
Very
ending
intense.
was more intense of the last episode.
But don't you feel like it was a relief? Like we finally know. Like we've been waiting and waiting, but we finally know.
We kind of knew.
Yeah, we've been having our guesses.
I
but
kept thinking it was her. I was seriously all about it being her. I even tried to go back when I watched the episode and be like, okay, Hannah, but maybe you had a moment where you did think it was Fada. And I was like, no, you didn't. Stop lying to yourself. You were wrong the whole time. I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely in it together. Fada definitely thought he was protecting her. Anyway, let's rewind before that.
We're recapping 2 episodes.
We're having 2, but in 1. So just follow us here. I'm sure you did. I know you guys out there love the show, so we'll see what happens here. But we do see, you know, POTUS is getting more aware of Charlie, more not trusting, I guess, of Charlie's actions. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you think that Charlie is trustworthy of POTUS? Even now, after both episodes, what do you think?
I more so think now she is than I had ever in all the previous episodes. Like before, I felt like she wasn't trustworthy, and now that POTUS is coming on to her a little bit, it's all of a sudden she's shown in a different light on the show, I feel like, and she's like letting her guard down.
Yeah, I agree.
You mean Charlie is...
Yeah, Charlie.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
I feel like there's still something else we don't know about Charlie. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I feel like she never intentionally was lying to POTUS when it came to Aaron's death.
I agree with that. But I think, funny enough, I think that there's still something we don't know about POTUS.
Oh, I completely
absolutely.
agree.
Okay, so y'all feel me on that one, then, right?
I feel
Okay,
you.
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's something we don't know about
Everybody, I
That's
know.
true.
Yeah, it's
Which
coming
is
out,
cool.
though. Yeah.
It's super cool. I like that we're still, I mean, what did we say? We have like 5 episodes left after these.
Yes.
So there's still a lot that's going to happen. We are finding out more information. We're finding out more about Nick, and Nick is playing more and more of a key role, which I don't know that I saw coming. I thought
like
they
him,
might
though.
have killed him off. You do.
I do.
You like Nick?
Oh, I love Nick.
Why?
It is.
It's just
I
because
think
you
it's
think
just
he's
because
cute.
he's strapping.
Oh my goodness. She should not be a CIA agent. Nope. Easily persuaded. Right there.
Caught up.
Well,
She's
Charleston's easily persuaded
Stop,
too,
guys.
and she's CIA agent.
Who is?
Charleston.
Yeah,
She
but,
is.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
especially with him.
Like you said, her draping across that bed.
Yeah.
That was a little much. All right, we're going back and forth here. And what else stood out to you guys about episode 6 that was, some crucial information to add to this episode? Was there anything with you guys?
Clearly the big dynamic there was that she let Charlie go. POTUS let Charlie go from her position as briefing her.
yeah.
Right.
So that was pretty intense. And it's funny that we had the jealousy song or the jealous song, this one because that was episode 7, right? I don't want to mix them up, but the most recent one was episode 7.
Yes.
Where there could have been, and not to jump. I'm not jumping. We will
You
get
jumped.
back to I did jump, but we're going to jump back.
I'm not jumping, but when I jump, I'm going to tell you that we'll go back to where I jumped from.
Right, and we're gonna jump back there. So, so what I'm saying is funny that you had the jealous song because Maureen clearly was jealous when she thought that Charlie was gonna get her position back.
Right.
Did you guys notice that?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
definitely in her expressions and everything like that. So I thought that was pretty
I
interesting.
thought she was more shocked than jealous. I thought she would assume that now that Charlie did something and was kind of more back on the straight and narrow path, that she would have gotten her job back.
That could be maybe shocking mixed with a little bit of jealousy. Can you give me that?
I don't know.
She's not. Stefan's not going for it. I mean, it could have been. She seemed so relieved when she found out. Oh wow, I'm still working for her. I'm still working for POTUS. So
Right.
that was just a little.
I agree. I think she was shocked. And I honestly, they're all beneath Charleston. So they have to have some kind of tinge of jealousy. Like, I want to be in your position.
Yeah.
I want to be that close to the president. I want to
Yeah.
make her happy at the end of the day. They
Yeah.
like when she says, oh, thank you. And they feel like
Yes.
so rewarded and like their jobs are like
Right,
amazing.
but honestly, is that something that? And again, we've jumped, but we're gonna jump back. I promise. Right after this point, is that something that's necessarily good here? I mean, I get in a lot of jobs, you want to make your boss quote unquote happy, but here in this case, do you want to be the one that makes your boss, who's POTUS, quote unquote happy? Or do you want to be the one that challenges your boss to think about other things that might upset them, but might result in better results?
But the thing is, Maureen is new in this position. So I don't think she has that much leverage to play that kind of role with the president yet.
True.
Because she doesn't really know her. She wants her to like her. And she's seen that Charlie had that role. And she's not in that role anymore. And so it's a little bit too risky. So in the beginning, she wants to just give her praises and kiss her butt
Right.
and all
Yeah.
of that,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just makes me a little mad.
Okay, I did want to go back to though.
Oh, we going back? We jumping
We
back?
are. We're going back.
Let's
We're going
take
back.
it
We're going back.
to episode 6, and then we'll finish up episode 6,
Yeah.
tie a little bow,
Yes.
and we'll go to episode 7.
Because we actually didn't even talk about when we were watching the show with all of the tattoos and the signs with the Pegasus, but in episode 6 when Fada's giving his speech televised, they show those different kids looking at the speech on different technology. One girl had the tattoo on her arm,
Yes.
then somebody else was drawing it on their notebook. And at that moment I was like, that's weird. But then in this episode when it became a whole thing about it. I just thought it was crazy.
Yeah, and we got introduced to that in I think episode 5, when we finally started seeing what that symbol meant, because when the guy was in Egypt, now we're going way back. When that guy
we can't get
was
it together over
confiscated in Egypt, and they finally found out what that whole symbol was and how
Right.
there's so many people in America that are along with the whole Pegasus situation.
And I actually liked Fada's speech in that in episode 6 when he did that televised. There was a moment where I was like, hey, he may
making
actually
sense.
be. Yeah. He seems like he's got it together the most out of everybody in this situation. But then, we find out that he killed Aaron, and I was like, how am I supposed to feel about him right now? Are we supposed to
Well,
like
he
him?
killed Aaron, but we also find out that he's still a CIA asset.
Right.
So, is there something about Aaron that we didn't know? Is there something that ties Aaron to POTUS that we didn't
Yeah.
know? Is Aaron...
That is the
there's
question.
some-
Because there's a reason
Uh-oh.
why.
Here she goes.
Right,
Yes.
here I
Passionate.
go.
There's
I'm
the passion.
Hold on. There's a reason why Aaron is even pointing a gun at Fada and Charlie. Why? What is the issue that he has with Fada?
Well, I think they want to lead us to believe that he's trying to save his fiancee Charlie from Fada.
but why would Fada be wanting to kill Charlie or wanting to hurt Aaron? Why?
That's what I'm saying.
So many
There's
secrets.
got to be
There's
something.
it'll unfold. I mean, I'm sure
It'll unfold.
obviously it will definitely unfold, but I would think that, and maybe I'm off about how I'm recalling the situation and how it went down with Aaron when he was on the ground and everything, but didn't he see that Aaron Fada was helping.
Well, he
Charlie,
said
like,
Fada was
holding her.
dragging Charlie.
Okay,
Who
so maybe it
knows?
was he thought that he was saving her.
Something that actually happened in both of these episodes is we have someone trying to break into some sort of, USA place. In the episode 6, we have Raced, I don't know how to say his name. Raced Kamal, who drives a motorcycle. Who I met before Omid. He's a really nice guy, and he did a really good job. Just had to say it. But he, so he's trying to ambush. And then in episode 7, we have this guy who we all agree was a little bit too easy for him to break into the Oval Office.
Yeah.
But whatever, we'll give it to him. We'll totally give it to him. So what is happening there? Like, is that something, like, are they going to actually successfully get in and be able to hurt people? I don't know. Who knows?
That's the thing the president needs to think about is like her security staff, instead of worrying about Charlie and her son, like, you're going to lose your own life trying to worry about your son that's already dead with these people that are easily accessing your home, easily accessing your vehicle, like in front of your vehicle and your whereabouts and all of that. You should be thinking about that, Miss Lady.
Yeah, like your own security and everything like that.
Yeah.
They don't spend a lot of time actually focusing on the presidential, like the White House or anything like that. It's so much about Fada and what's the other
Masuri.
Masuri or Masuri?
And the other guy, Shakai.
They focus so much on that you tend to think at least
Shaquille O'Neal.
Boom.
I'm joking.
all right, boom. Okay, so they focus so much on that, and I don't know if you guys think the same way that I do when I'm watching the show. It all makes me believe, is everything tied to Fada, or do they have other little sub stories, or is everything all tied in? Because they put so much emphasis on Fada and, kind of figuring out who he or where he is and all of that stuff.
Well, I think because of him killing Aaron, that's her number one thing. She
No,
can't
I get
focus
that.
on anything else.
No, but I'm saying all the other stuff. Okay, somebody broke into the White House. Does that have something to do with Fada? Like,
They
the
don't
whole
seem to care about
Pegasus.
that stuff.
Does that have something to do with Fada? Like, again, it's just,
Right.
it's I don't know that there's a clear line that's being drawn. That's why it's so intense and interesting, because you're like, okay, well, what does it mean?
Right.
So it's
What I think that it's touching on, these terrorist groups that threaten that we don't know when and where people are, and no matter where we think, like, if we think that these terrorists are just starting overseas, that pretty much we should be scared everywhere because they're within our own homes, they're within our own towns.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's just trying to bring up, it's trying to reinforce the idea that you think that it's only there that you need to be scared of, but actually it's everywhere.
great point, because think about how they went into the actual
all the
the
pictures.
college instructor. You know what I'm saying? Like, just making it seem as though it's like right here. It's like right in our backyard. So great point.
And also the way that they were showing all the pictures of, all the places where they had the Washington Monument,
Yes.
they had St. Louis Arch, they had all these pictures of these, tourist or national parks, that they had this picture, and then it becomes almost cool. So, you know what I mean? So it's like almost becomes cool to be part of this stuff. So everyone was doing it, how they were tracking through the internet. It was like, a few hundred pictures went to 200,000 just like that, which is
Because of
crazy
social
because
media.
especially what's happening, nowadays, or what just happened with Sony and all this cyber terror, to the way that things can spread that quickly is pretty nuts.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know that they didn't mean to tie that into the cyber terror. It's just kind of coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay, the only other thing that I do want to touch on in episode 6, we touched upon it a little bit, but was the process that made Charlie remember the facts.
That was bananas.
Yeah. I mean, is that a real thing? Honestly.
I want to know out there if somebody knows, CIA, anyone that knows a doctor, is that possible?
Who knows?
If that was the case, think about like all of like things that happen, like war and like okay, I need you to remember this. Who killed this person?
And Maureen just taking that on, like, she knew how to do all of that. Like, well, I can get that.
Right.
I know how to do that. Let me
Okay,
just
but
shove
that
this needle in your
character,
arm.
she's got more layers.
Steph's
She's
about
the
to say it.
pusher.
Okay, Steph said it.
Yes,
Steph said it. I've
she
been
did.
saying something is up with Maureen from episode
But
1
obviously
or 2.
we're gonna jump now.
Yeah.
Obviously we see at the end of this episode, Maureen isn't all nice girl. She's letting what's his name into her
Lucas.
home, Lucas into her home for a little nightcap.
Her
Yeah.
and Lucas are working together on something. That wasn't like a hey, why are you here?
Yeah.
Let me in. It's like it's you again. We shouldn't go there, but we're gonna.
Right? She had the whole lean up.
It seemed very.
And how does he get so comfortable to be drunk around her? all the
Yeah.
time?
Well, and he knew where she lived.
Yeah, it's something up. Like
We
it's,
thought she was getting killed.
but wait. Well, here's the thing though. Did you see how fast he went in after her?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was gonna cut to them inside the living room, him like strangling her or something
what's
because
gonna
he went
happen?
right in.
The other guy's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I hope so.
And then he's gonna be like, "I told you," and then
though-
they're gonna get into it.
I don't like him.
Yeah, he's creepy.
The nice guy.
Do we call him the nice guy? Because
creepy guy.
creepy.
Yeah.
Little creeper.
Yeah.
He's a
And
little
he
creep.
was so crazy when he talked to Lucas about his drinking
yeah.
and using that against him and then bringing up Maureen. And
But he's
Yeah.
just got
It was-
something serious for Maureen. I just think that this is going to unfold. Well, clearly it already has started to unfold something about Lucas and like the issues that he has. But I think something's definitely going to come out with him.
And we haven't talked about the mask, the guy with the mask.
I feel like Lucas was driven to drink after he saw that guy kill himself because some way, shape, or form he knew the guy because Lucas is tied into this group that has Pegasus tattoos and he's gonna have one.
Okay,
Wow.
prediction.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think that's
Big prediction.
That was sorry. I skipped
Your
to
mind
it.
was
That
like-
Yeah.
it just came. It was just like. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
One thing I want to ask you guys that while watching it kind of stood out to me. The scene where Charleston was talking to POTUS about she finally tells her that this is what happened. She finally tells her that Fada has been a CIA asset for 3 years. She's been working him. And the president was so pissed off and said that you lost my trust. And she was like, well, what my job is, I'm not supposed to tell you everything unless
You ask.
You ask. So how do you guys feel about that? I feel like I kind of agreed with Charleston in that situation. No.
Because listen,
Let me have it.
she took it very personal. Like the thing is, it's kind of hard in this situation because she does have a relationship outside of just the president and the briefer. She comes to their house, she eats dinner with the family, and
Right,
she
but if
sat
it's,
there.
like,
But she
top
sat there.
secret?
It's not really a secret. She's the president. So the thing is, it's like you're sitting at my table, and basically you've been lying to me all this time because I've asked you in so many ways. Except I've asked you who killed my son.
Yeah.
Basically, and you haven't told me. You knew it was your mind was playing games with you, but you knew it was Fada. He was the one there. You knew he was some kind of involved. So she could have said, well, Fada was involved. That's all that I can remember. My mind is still jogging. I don't kind of recall. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I remember because Maureen gave me this happy drug and I got really high.
I don't know if that was happy.
Well, I don't know. I got really high and I blacked out, and then I woke up in a bathtub, and then I remembered everything. Like if any of you guys came to tell me that, I would be like, you're on drugs and you're not going to be on AFTERBUZZ TV anymore because I don't think that you're telling me the truth.
Right,
Something's not right.
I understand all of that, but my true question is, does family trump work confidentiality?
With this president, yes.
I was going to say, I don't feel like it's ethically right, but I think in this show and with their relationship, I mean,
I
they crossed
agree.
the line a long time ago. I
Yes,
feel like.
because if you think about the dynamic of the two, if this were a male president, if this were something like that, I don't see it being the case. But the way that they make that particular relationship seem, where she can call her Constance, and
And
you know,
sometimes she goes when it gets serious and like
So is
family talk,
this-
she's like Constance.
Yes,
And then when it's
yeah.
briefing, she's like Madam President.
And
Yeah.
she always says anyway,
Well,
she's
so
like,
is this a clear sign that Charlie's quote unquote dirty and that there's something else going on then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, Charlie's been dirty. Look, she's in the bed with Nick. Nick's been locked up, hasn't even taken a shower. And she's over there licking his wounds and getting all freaky nasty with him in the bed. So
Hasn't even taken a shower. I love that you noticed that.
On a lot of levels.
Right.
Well,
but
if you think about it though, let's take it all the way back to the very first episode. That one clear moment in the very first episode where we all said that Charlie has a double life. I'm not jumping all the way.
Totally.
You remember it, Steph?
Okay, what's going on?
She makes fun of my memory sometimes, but I always remember it. Go ahead.
where Charlie is having a drink with the guy at the bar, if you remember. Steph, you got it?
Totally, I'm with you.
Okay. And then like she's one way, and then all of a sudden, remember, she's having the therapist,
right.
That whole thing. Like, we decided then Charleston sort of lives these double lives and she's just two people. So I mean, I don't know that she has any more. She seems really sincere. I'm kind of buying into her character a little bit. So I don't know that she has anything more to hide. I don't know if it's on her or if everything else is gonna come out about everybody else.
But I still wonder if she keeps saying she loved Aaron, but I keep wondering if she did, or if that relationship may have been a front in some order and she was really with Nick the entire time.
Just to get her position where she's at now.
Ooh,
maybe.
That's deep.
Right, but in the end, that's what's causing her to get fired, so that kind of didn't work.
Yeah. Backfired.
Well, because she probably didn't think Aaron was gonna die.
Or that she'd lose her memory.
Yeah, she didn't think
Or that there would
that.
be a drug.
Because we never thought of it
Okay,
either.
wait, time out. My favorite scene, maybe not my favorite, top 5 scene of the whole season has to be when Charlie and Nick were at the border and didn't have their papers.
Oh, that was good.
Amazing.
That was so good.
That was
yeah.
so something that I would do.
His accent too, I
Oh,
loved
it was
it.
great. His Australian accent was fantastic. Great job, Nick.
Yeah, that was a really fun scene.
Yeah.
So, you know, and we get this. It's just so fascinating to me. And I know that this is television. I know that a lot of this stuff's made up, but I do know that, you know, like we've seen, people from the CIA do watch this show. They give comments and stuff of what is technically real and what's not.
Right.
But I love that Charlie tried to go to a meeting spot that she had with this asset Fada years ago. He wasn't there. And then Nick also, it's clear that Nick knew that he was an asset for this whole time too, because he's the other thing that they used to do is write an ad in the paper. Right. And Fada saw the ad in the paper, and then that's how they get the clue of what they need to do. Like, that's the stuff that really intrigues me. And that's what always makes my brain twist and be like, well, maybe, I don't know, is POTUS firing Charlie because people are going to find out that they're working together, so she has to fire Charlie to make it look better for her? Like, what's the underlying thing happening? Because there's always something.
And, I mean, do we think it was them or POTUS who put them together in that
I
hotel
think
room?
so.
Yeah,
I think
she
so.
put them together. So I think she kind of already, or the guy, the secretary, what is he? The chief of staff?
Yes.
I think he's been, like, he asked, dig up some stuff on Charlie. They've been kind of one step ahead of her at this point because she didn't know that they've been following and watching her. And so I think the president was like, I want you to tell me the truth because I know what it is at this point. I had people that have told me. And whoever that guy with the mask on, he already knew everything because basically he brought them together. He left the key. He knew exactly when to release Nick. He knew to release Nick at that same exact time that Charlie was going to be dropped off in the same city, left the same key that she got, and they're going to meet up in the room and be like, how'd you get here? Let's have sex. Okay, now what's the next step?
Right.
Yeah, because clearly, remember, I guess maybe 3 or 4 episodes when, or maybe 3 episodes where POTUS said, I want you to keep all eyes on Charlie. Like, I need to know her every move and everything like that. So it was clear, I think the chief of staff had something going on. Maybe he was just like, I have to figure, you know, maybe he took it upon himself to figure some things out. Who knows? But maybe that was the best way to get some information from Charlie, which was to interrogate Nick.
All right, well, another crazy episode. I love that we keep finding out more important information.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. We're seeing the pieces and we're like, oh, maybe this one fits. Maybe that one fits.
But whenever we think it does, they'll throw in an episode like next week where we'll have an episode that doesn't
has nothing
have
to
anything
do with
Fada.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that it doesn't have anything to do with
We don't know the
Fada.
way that they made it look, though. Yeah, we don't know.
And, we do see that Jake, was that his name?
Yeah, the sergeant or the
who was captured for going back in a couple episodes with the medicine to help the people that were there. Was captured, and now there's something deeper to the relationship between him and POTUS. Like, we know that he helped her, but I think
saved
that's
her
gonna
life.
Yeah, he saved her, but I feel like that's gonna unfold a little bit more, and we're gonna see how do they know to play him against her. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it shakes out. All right, well, that about wraps up our episode for tonight. Sorry it's a little short tonight, guys, but we love your comments, questions. If you guys know any of the answers to the questions, let us know. Where can the people find you guys until next week?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Pink English, as well as on Twitter, English Speaks.
You can find me on Instagram at HotShotDude and on Twitter at HannahKathleen2.
Instagram and Twitter and everything else at Robin Ayers.
And you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Stef Z. Thanks, bye.
Thank you, bye.
See you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.